this is how George prepares for a match. So this is on the 17th of March 2012, so it's on the morning of Wales versus France, the final match of the Six Nations. If they win this game, they will have not only got their revenge on France for the way that they were knocked out with a dodgy ref, but also they will have won the Grand Slam.
Should maybe imagine doing this preparation for coming to school every morning and then see quite how singular it is.
Yeah. George North, a 19-year-old rugby player from Ynys Môn in North Wales, is packing his kit bag in a bedroom at the Vale Resort in Pontyclun, 12 miles west of Cardiff. He puts in 2 pairs of boots, a gum shield, recovery skins, a long and a short sleeve training top and a set of long studs. He checks the contents, then he takes them out again, laying them on his bed. Pausing a moment, he puts them all into his bag again. Then he empties them onto the bed again. George repeats this process 5 times before finally closing the bag, shouldering it and leaving the room. He's already written down his objectives for the match ahead on a piece of hotel notepaper. Having memorised this list of tactics and prompt words, he's ripped it up and he's thrown it in the bin. Before he did that, George phoned Andy McCann, a former Scottish karate international and a stroke survivor who now works as a sports psychologist. Andy spoke with George about the match, but also about life outside rugby, about the flat that George hoped to buy in Cardiff. With less than 2 hours to kick off, just hearing Andy's voice is more important to George than anything he has to say about the game itself. At 6'4" and 16.5 stone, George, when running at full speed, summons 1 ton of impact. He's an affable joker of a boy, effervescent with energy, quick to laugh or to pull a face, fluent in both Welsh and English. Neither language seems to be capable of keeping up with the speed of his thoughts. Since he was 15 years old, rugby has taken George away from his family. At first, living on his own was a struggle. He missed his parents and the island of Ynys Môn. Washing his own clothes took time to master. But George wanted to play rugby at the highest level, so he moved south into the heartland of Welsh rugby, where he trained and trained and played, so that now, just 4 years later, here he is, shouldering his kit bag and leaving his room to board a coach with 2 red dragons painted down each of its sides. Wales, like all nations, is an idea, a concoction of history, landscape, temperament and language. This afternoon, George and the 21 other young men, also boarding that dragon-painted coach, will become that idea. For 80 minutes, under the eyes of millions, they will become their country. So that's how George starts his match day, and that's how I chose to start the book.